Sedang kita menyambut Aidilfitri dalam suasana yang aman, perang masih lagi berterusan di Gaza. Bagi pelakon dan penulis Amer Hlehel, dia menggunakan seni teater dan lakonan untuk menyebarkan perjuangan dan harapan rakyat Palestin serta impiannya untuk masa depan yang lebih baik.
Nothing came easy. Not even becoming a poet. بقلم الرصاص الصغير هذا سأرسم الدنيا كما تشاهد خاتمك.
I think when you bring politics on stage in a piece of art, in the way that you want to argue and put political argument on stage, you will lose. You're not losing the argument, you will lose the soul of your case. I think the Palestinian case is not a political case from the first place. It is a very human case.
Congratulations, Taha is born, and now you become Abu Taha, the father of Taha.
I think an art, it's a medium to connect to people, not to argue with them, for me. So if I want to make people listen to a story that I bring, I think I need to bring the story from the side of how they can follow and identify and be connected to the story and the character from their place.
After the war, my father couldn't afford to send me to high school, and I decided to focus on expanding my shop. I was also saving money for my marriage to Amira. Amira is my cousin. I still remember the day I first met her. I was 4 years old. Come, Taha, we are going to your uncle's home to congratulate him. He has a new baby girl.
I always said that performing in Singapore was one of the best, if not the best, performances for Taha in the long tour around the world, also in Palestine and in the Arab world. So for me it was a very, very, very special experience. Taha is not a well-known poet, even though I think he is one of the finest poets in the Palestinian poetry scene. I directly fell in love with the kind of poetry he is presenting, because mainly the Palestinian poetry until late 90s, and I think Taha opened that window of being more personal, more deep, and talking about the human pain of the Palestinian experience. Until that time, the Palestinian poetry was representing the collective voice of the Palestinian pain. It's talking about everybody and about losing the land and about losing as people, not as human beings, as individuals.
We wanted to stay in our homeland. Our family moved into a small printed room in the marketplace.
So I read the biography, and then I discovered the story of Taha. And what was very unique for me about the story, it's identical copy-paste the story of my grandfather, who was a teenager when he left his village called Qaddita in the north of Palestine to Lebanon with his family, displaced, and then he sneaked back to Palestine to found his village a military closed zone and also destroyed, and he had to start everything from zero. In a new situation, a new world, let's say new conditions. So then I said, okay, this is the combination. This is what I need. This is what I need. It's the story of Taha, which is also very personal also for me.
We worked with the displaced villagers for 2 days. We left Palestine.
The story of displacement, loss of land, loss of loved ones, the pain and suffering, these are real stories. How do you talk about something political in a non-political way, and especially when you're staging a play and you have the audience in mind and different levels of understanding about the situation?
They need to understand how we human beings react when we pass difficult events and catastrophes, because we all know about what the meaning of loss, because we all lose things during our lives.
All the images were thinking about returning home. خائن. الأرض لا تحفظ الود. الأرض لا تؤتمن.
I wish, especially in Gaza these days, it's not just about stopping the war, and the war should stop, of course, but I think what I want is just the feeling that people next time, after seeing the play, when they watch news and when they see faces and hear the name Palestine or Palestinian, they will think differently and think more in a way like look at us as human beings, not just as headlines. I want to be honest. At the beginning of the war, I felt like there is no place for art. There is no hope, and it's not important to do art anymore. People are being killed, and people are being displaced, and they are starving, and children are dying from all sides. I'm not talking about politics now. I'm talking about the meaning of really the cruelty of war for everybody who suffered from a war anywhere in the world.
People in the streets were saying there are fatalities. People have died in the bombing.
I'm not sure if there is a place for theater anymore or for art, and is that important. But then yesterday, after 10-15 seconds, then I felt like, of course we need it, because this is the language that will last with people. Art was created through the history to last in people and to change minds and to open imaginations and to create compassion and hope and to learn from it and to learn about each other from it.
With an embarrassed smile smeared across my face.
Now, about peace, I think peace is a result. I think peace is not, it shouldn't be the goal, because it is a result. The goal should be respect, justice, freedom of speech, and freedom of life, and moving. This is the values that we need to aim for, and they will create the peace. Because peace is a result of, like, you feel safe, I feel safe, they feel safe, everybody feels safe, so there's no place to fight. So I think, and in art, it just, this is the role of art, I think, and theater especially, because you tell something to people, and you can tell them that there is hope, and you should not stop dreaming, even in your lowest feelings and circumstances.